I have returned. I am the head honcho of hair loss. That's right, Nick Shell. You're watching this video because you want to see what your hair might look like 2.5 months after your last zero guard buzz cut. I've got a very specific audience for this video, but I wanted to create that. I think it's important for anyone growing out a zero guard buzz cut, how long your hair will be at what point, because there's that awkward phase. I mean, for me personally, because of my diffuse thinning, if I have much more than like a number 1 guard buzz cut, it takes up until the point I've got really 1.5 inches on top before I'm like, okay, I feel good about this. The diffuse thinning's not showing anymore, and I'm not there yet. It's been 2.5 months. I got my hair cut today, and I asked the lady how long it is. She says it's right at 1 inch. 1 inch long on top. So what we've got going on is I've got 1 inch length on top, and she actually had to trim it down a little bit. She specifically said that the front was shorter than the back, and my speculation is because of, again, the diffuse thinning and graduating towards, even if I'm only Norwood 2.5, if I'm graduating towards more of a Norwood 4 to some degree, and that was the first time I heard that having not cut the length at all on top in 2.5 months, but for this to be shorter in length than this, I think that's pretty telling of where I might be heading in my hair loss as far as that goes. So I thought that was interesting. So 1 inch on top, and then I said I'd like a number 2 in the sides and the back. Well, she said, well, I'll have to blend it. So she said I'll blend it from a 3 starting here, but then I'm gonna go down to a 1. What do you think? I said, yeah, actually that sounds good, because especially as it grows out, that's gonna look good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn around so you can see how it looks on the sides there. And there you go again, and I'm gonna turn around like this, and I'm gonna walk out. How far away am I? Like 8 feet, okay? And then I'm going to creep towards the camera like this. I just want you to be able to see all angles on this, and hopefully what I hope to do is sort of be the middleman, for people out there. I know there's a lot of viewers who have less hair than me, others who have more, and I'm kind of in between a lot of people on that. So hopefully, as the middleman, I can kind of show different perspectives, what it's like to be kind of in the middle. Granted, my hair loss is quite minimal. I understand that, but it's still important to see, because who knows, maybe this video you're watching now is a glimpse of what your hair will be like 5 years from now or 10 years from now. And I think that's important because a lot of people who watch my channel are teenagers or in their early 20s, and they say, well, I'm a Norwood 1 or 2 and I don't have any thinning at all, and I say, well, and you may stay that way for a long time, or you may keep the hairline and eventually you may get some diffuse thinning. Because I see men who are in their 50s and 60s and the hairline's fine and they've got some minor diffuse thinning going on. So I think it's just interesting the way the nature of this is, that I'm kind of in the middle of where so many people are on this channel. I've got people with full heads of hair that watch my channel just to, I don't know, maybe even prepare for what it might be like when they start experiencing that. Because if I were to go back in a time machine, to when I was 24, when I was 24 is when I first noticed officially, okay, I think, I didn't know the word for it, but Norwood 4. And I started noticing that, and I thought, okay, we'll see where this goes. We'll see if in the next decade, I'm gonna be noticeably balding or not. So I definitely am surprised that I am not, if this isn't worse, the diffuse thinning I've got. But I think it's important. I think a lot of people do watch my videos for that, just to sort of prepare. Let me get a glimpse of what might be happening to me in the next couple of years. Because I think when it comes to hair loss, if it's something you're thinking about, and you probably are by watching my videos, I think it's important to be mentally prepared for that, to expect it to happen, to expect the worst, and then when it doesn't, well, then you're more prepared for it. And that's the thing about hair loss. There's so many question marks, and it's like I was saying, I mean, you can be Norwood 1 or 2 for your whole life. You may watch, oh man, my temples are going back, I've got the V shape going on. When does it stop? And so many men ask themselves their whole life, when is this gonna stop? And it may stop at age 22, and that's it. You know, so that's the thing. I think it's important psychologically to be prepared. So I think this video specifically, in addition to people who want to see, you know, how long their hair would be, you know, 2.5 months after the buzz cut, it's also a video to give you a glimpse of what it would be like as you start graduating towards possibly going bald or thinning out on top. I mean, this is pretty minimal for diffuse thinning at this point. But I myself am prepared for it to get worse. Thanks for watching my video. My name is Nick Shell. Who am I? I'm the head honcho of hair loss, and I'm glad you're here.